Oh, it's coming. Yeah, it was the last play of the game. He kind of caught the ball and turned around and ran into the guy and kind of had a little whiplash or whatever. So, yeah, he's going to be out tonight. Yeah, not sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, when key guys are out, multiple guys or your best players are being out, and you having to search every single night to try to find lineups that work and being smart without having to wear the other guys down. Like I think Marcus and Zoo and Reggie, those three guys have I think it's hurt the most because they have to play more minutes, having to do more than they usually have to do. And so it works on your team in other ways. It's just the mental part of it. I think more minutes. I think doing more as a player than you're accustomed to doing. And so I see a lot of the similarities with both teams. With Butler being out, with Hero being out. A lot of games this year. And so, you just got to try to do what you can do to stay afloat. And the mindset you got to have and the culture you set is, no matter who's on the floor, you got to think you can win a game. And that's been our mindset since I've been here. And our guys have done a fantastic job of doing that. Our guys have come off the bench and taking on bigger roles. And, like Amir Coffey last year, T-Man, Luke Kennard, Isaiah Hardenstein, who played well, who got opportunities. And so, along with our veterans, we know with Reggie and Nico, Zoo, Marcus. But, it gives other guys opportunities to have a chance to play. And so we've kind of, it's not a good thing, but we kind of mastered, playing that style of basketball. But it's great to have our guys back, and now guys can kind of settle into their roles.
What do you want to see? I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to ask you how you processed the news this morning that Brittany Griner is on the way back home.
It's great news. Anytime you can get, you know, our people back, it's always great. And it's disappointing that she had to go through what she had to go through. And I know she had a lot of support. And so just having her back, it means a lot. And so, a lot of people fought for her to get back, out front, behind the scenes. And I'm just glad that day finally came.
What do you want to see from your guys tonight?
Just having a defensive approach. I think, a lot of times, we point to our offense. You point not just our offense lab, but when you point to your offense when you lose a 17, 18-point lead, but really, it's the defense because if you get stops, they can't make up an 18-point lead. And so, for us, I think on both sides of the basketball, just continue to work on our habits. I thought, last game we didn't make the simple flow pass. Once we got up 18, we didn't play the same way we played throughout the first quarter. And so defensively, we had a lot of breakdowns, offensive rebounds. And so, those type of things we got to continue to improve on and be better with, especially with Kawhi and PG on the floor. We should be a lot better defensively every night. And so, just continue to build on those two things.
What is the mentality that needs to be when it's the second night of the back-to-back?
I just think it's a mental thing. We have some young guys in the room, but our veteran guys, they've been through it for a while, and it's more of a mental thing. All teams play back to backs. It's not an excuse not to play hard. It just means play harder for shorter. If you could play 11 minutes in a row, play 7 or 8 in a row. Just play them hard and compete, and then we'll get you back in the game.
You kind of alluded to it earlier when you were talking about when key guys are out, you have to have the mindset of you're going to win no matter what. Even though the start hasn't gone the way you wanted, nobody's run away.
Yeah.
What are you, like 4 games out or something like that, and obviously you're able to do everything. They're in the same position. Is it weird to you that there's a lot of teams that are just right around 500 for whatever reason right now, just kind of waiting for someone to take off? Have you noticed that, and is it strange to you in any way?
Yeah, I have noticed that, and the biggest thing, which it seems like, a lot of teams who are, waiting to take off or waiting to play better. In our case, I look at it as a positive because our guys have been out. We've been struggling. With Luke being out for a long time, Kawhi playing, I think 6 games all year, PG missing an extended period of time. Now Norm's being out, and so when you look at our record, I think we were 12-10 or whatever. You look back and like, okay, we have some real guys coming back. And so that's always, makes you feel better about the season and how it's going. And the same thing with Spo. I think if you look at their record and how they've been playing, but we have Jimmy coming back, we have Tyler coming back, and so it's a positive. A lot of teams are going through it and don't have anybody coming back, So I try to look at that as a positive, and it's not always a positive, but it feels good, to know that our young guys having opportunities, our older guys having opportunities, and we have PG, Kawhi, Luke, and them coming back, and that makes you feel a lot better.
Last night, PG and Kai were expressing that they wish they could play more. Obviously, they know that you guys are trying to protect them with the minutes limit, but they felt like they want to be out there as much as possible. To what extent do those guys have, do they push that limit? Do they have a say in how much they do play? So students taking that.
Well, I mean, we understand that. We understand that we got to protect them from themselves and be smart about it. And so, as much as those guys want to play, we got to make sure they don't play and then end up getting injured because they're overexerting, energy and doing things their body's not accustomed to because they've been out for so long. And so we got to be smart about that. And, I know they wanted to play, but I just, took the lead like, no, this is it. Like, we should have played when we was up 18, so, and we could have won the game and it wouldn't have been a factor. But with that being said, we just got to be smart. Our medical staff does a great job of letting us know, exactly how many minutes they can play. And if they can push it a little bit, they'll let them push it a little bit. But it is what it is.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. On the minutes thing, are you, is someone tracking that for you? Because it's got to be hard for you to be managing the game.
Yeah, I've become a minute monitor throughout the last couple of years. It's been no, but it's tough, at times because, you're getting a good rhythm and a good flow of the game, and guys got to come out and you got to bring other guys back in. And when a certain group is playing well, you got to kind of break that up. And I think it was a stretch we was up, 15, and Kawhi had a rebound. He was pushing in transition. I took a timeout because, just making sure we're smart about it and the extent those guys are playing. So, I have guys that the last 2 games I've been able to coach off a card. I've never done that before, like where you just minutes and get guys in and get guys out. And it's something new to me, but I usually go off field, but, it wasn't bad.
And then just as a follow-up, how unique has it been to have a guy who's a 5-time All-Star like John Wall come off the bench, be excited about that role and just that luxury of having somebody like that?
Yeah, he's been great. I think the way he plays, just being able to be a one-man fast break, and, that's something we didn't get a lot of the last couple of years, of just easy points in transition. And when he's on the floor, he really brings that different element to our team. And then having a guy who can see plays and read plays at the point guard position. And when you run the ATLs and, coming out of timeouts, being able to execute and run plays with a point guard like him has been great, And so just for him to accept that role of being a starter and being a, I think 5-time All-Star and, being who he's being carried, the Washington Wizards, a team, him and Bradley Beal. So to come here and want to accept that role and understand that he wants to win a championship and be a winner, that says a lot about him and who he is. Yes, sir. What'd you say? Reggie, PG, Nico, Marcus, and Zoo.